So it was yesterday where we reached out to her boyfriend from 7 years ago that she just ghosted on for real good reason.
No, I don't think it was for a real good reason at all. So they were together for 4 or 5 months. She got pregnant and she panicked because she saw her sister's relationship and how bad they were co-parenting because her sister and her sister's ex had a kid together, and she was afraid that's the path her life was leading. So she gets pregnant. She ghosts on this guy, moves to a different state, city, and has this little girl that he knows absolutely nothing about. So now fast forward 7 years later, he has a young child he doesn't know anything about. She's now having regrets, thinking, I never gave him a chance to be a dad. I never gave us a chance to be a couple. So she's since moved back to that same city that they were in originally and wanted us to reach out to him to see if he would be interested in meeting up with her. But we weren't allowed to make any mention of the child.
Yeah, he was confused. He couldn't quite understand why she was reaching out now, 7 years later. But either way, he said he was open to it. So, Rebecca, we were having all sorts of phone problems yesterday, so we couldn't have you on yesterday. So, since yesterday morning, when you got his phone number, did you reach out to him?
Well, not right away. I was really nervous all day about it. And, I just kept, how you would, almost dial a phone number and press the button. I kept getting to that point that I finally did in the afternoon. And he, wrote back and, was... he definitely was surprised and wanted to know, why I was reaching out now and, what's going on. And I didn't, give anything away. I didn't tell him anything. It was just basically I've been thinking about, the last years of my life, and I'm just trying to make amends, and I'd really love to see you, and talk. And so he was open to it, so we are actually meeting in person tonight.
Oh, okay. So we were debating this yesterday, if this is something that you should say to him before you guys are out in public seeing each other face to face, and you decided, you know what, I'll just do that when I see him. Now, that's the game plan, right? You guys go out, you get a drink in you or whatever, and you're like, here's the real reason why you're here?
Yeah, I think so.
You think so? No, I mean, this man deserves to know he has a child.
Yeah.
100%.
But
Yeah,
beforehand?
no, yeah.
So we couldn't...
I'm definitely going to tell him tonight.
Okay.
We couldn't ask this question yesterday because we didn't have phones, but now we can. 1-855-BERT Show. If you've been in this situation before, did you want to know before you guys met up? I mean, were you glad that he told you or she told you over the phone what was going on? Or would you have rather gotten that bombshell face-to-face right there?
What if it's just a little sample of the bombshell? What if she's just like, hey, before we meet up at Fridays tonight, how are you with kids?
Or when you're on the phone with him, just, pinch baby a little
Just
bit.
curi- yeah,
You get
just
a little
curious.
noise out of it. What was that?
She's 7.
Oh, yeah.
Don't pinch it.
Don't pinch the child.
I would want to know before I got there for
Yeah,
sure.
that's what she said.
Yeah.
Would you want to know beforehand, or would you rather be ambushed with the information?
I think yesterday I said face to face, but the more I listen to Mo, I think maybe
Yeah.
on the phone. Shoot, I don't know, man.
7 years.
That kind of news, man, I just feel like you should be in the comfort of your own home, maybe even alone. I don't know if you'd want to be in public.
Yeah.
I started thinking
You know what I
about
mean?
it.
100%.
Yeah.
I thought it would be best in public, but I started thinking about what Mo said yesterday, and I was like, nah, I imagine as a man I would have to do some pacing.
Yeah,
I'd have
for
to
sure.
get up and walk. I'd have
For
to do a
sure.
walk about the restaurant.
All right, so maybe this is the one thing that we can all agree on. If you're still open to it, that maybe you guys shouldn't go to a restaurant and do this or a bar, and maybe you should do it at, your place or whatever.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
Do you
have a plan?
Yeah, have you mulled this over and played it out, how you're going to tell him?
I mean, I've thought about it. It's just, I'm just so afraid of his reaction. And I didn't want to tell him on the phone because I didn't want him to just hang up or like I never hear from him again or something. Yeah, it's tough. It's like it's a huge thing.
Yeah.
I'm curious, what does your daughter know about her dad?
Not much. I mean, because she never, had one growing up. It was basically me and my mom who took care of her for most of her life so far.
So when you're thinking this out, like what are you best case scenario for you? What are you hoping happens after you tell him he has a daughter? Do you want him to be a part of her life?
I mean, I think now that I'm back in town and we're here, if he's open to it, I would love for them to have a relationship.
I know you're a little bit nervous about the unpredictability of how he's going to react, so let me just go ahead and eliminate one for you, one reaction. Woohoo!
Really, Bert?
That one's not.
That one's, you can take that one off the table.
You got multiple choice, but that is not one of them.
Not going to want to go to Disney World.
That's not going to be behind door number one?
No,
Okay.
so that might take some pressure off of you there. I don't know what advice to give you here.
I wouldn't
he's going
do
to
it
be
in public.
shocked.
I think we all agree
Yeah.
you don't do that in public.
I
He's
would
gonna
do
be
it on a
shocked.
Ferris wheel. It's like you can't go anywhere. We're gonna talk this out up here.
No, you can go somewhere.
You certainly can.
It's not going to end well, but you can.
I mean, you got to know he's going to be shocked. They're potentially, most said yesterday, he'd be real mad.
I would be furious.
I'd be so pissed.
I would definitely be furious, and I would need time. I probably wouldn't give you a reaction right away. I would need time to myself to really process. This is life-changing information.
Now, I generally can ask Bert Show fam anything, and they call up with advice, but we're getting nothing today. Zero. Like, nobody wants part of it. So I don't know what kind of advice to give you. I mean, I don't know why I'd beat around the bush on the whole thing. I mean, I think the longer you wait, the more awkward it's going to be. You know?
We're already 7 years awkward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You dive in at this point. There's no easy way. You just have to literally just tell him.
But you're
straight
doing the
up.
right thing. He
Yeah.
deserves to know, and it'll be interesting to see where you guys take it from there.
Yeah.
Just be prepared, and he's entitled. Like he's entitled to his emotions. He's entitled to his response. So and that's going to be a lot of information to take at once. So just try to be understanding as possible.
Annetta, good morning. You're part of the Bert Show.
Good morning.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi.
What you got, Annetta?
You go.
I have so many questions. My first question is, how could you be so incredibly selfish? This
not a question.
child has a right to know
I guess it is.
that she has a father, and he has a right to know that he has a child.
So, Annetta, here's what we got with your call here. Like, that's not going to do any good.
No.
I mean, she knows she probably should have said something already. So we're kind of looking for something like productive. Like, are you suggesting that she says, I made a very selfish decision 7 years ago?
Absolutely.
Own it.
Absolutely. Own it. You've got to say, this was probably not the best I've ever done.
Right.
And I need to come clean and give you an opportunity to do your job and give her an opportunity to know that she has a dad.
Yeah. Now, I appreciate you calling. Thank you. I do think owning it is step number one. Like, I mean, do you agree with that, though? I mean, I don't want to put words in your mouth. Do you think you made the wrong decision 7 years ago?
Yeah, I mean, I think it was, I was scared. I, didn't know what to do. We hadn't been together that long. I had just seen, my sister go through this horrible situation, and I ran. I ran for safety, and yeah, it wasn't the best decision. But I did what I thought I had to do at the time.
All right, Elisa here wants to give you some advice because she's been through the same thing. Hey, Lisa.
So, hello, love you guys, Dottie.
I love you. You're amazing, Kristen.
They didn't put her on the voice disguiser until she said she loved you. And then
Yeah, what
I was like, I don't want people to know that.
I put her on, but our dumbass voice disguiser goes in and out.
I love you.
Go ahead.
Thanks.
I've been there. I did it. I was actually supposed to go overseas. I was 7 months pregnant. I had emergency C-section with my daughter because of severity between of me and him. I did it over the phone. I did have to implement legal action to make sure you got to establish rights for yourself because you don't know how it may go. And now today's court system, it's no longer like a mother's rights state. So make sure you have that like kind of prepared. Unfortunately, I would honestly do it over the phone first, and then be like, look, if you want to meet, talk, and discuss, then we can, because it is a lot to process. It's been over 7 years since y'all talked. You don't know how he is now versus then on a safety issue.
Makes sense.
Huh, I hadn't even thought of that.
And from a legal standpoint, it makes total sense too.
Yeah. All right, so you got a lot to chew on before tonight. That's for sure. Hopefully some of those helped you out.
Yeah.
All right, good luck tonight. We'll check back with you tomorrow and find out how it all went. And I do think that his initial reaction, you have to be patient and give him some grace with. Again, this is going to be shocking to him. So the way he feels inevitably might not match up to the initial reaction. Just keep that in mind, okay?
Okay, I will.
All right, we'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
The Bert Show.